Hello guys, welcome to our YouTube channel. Today we are going to be looking at the principle of design. So if you are a new person to this channel, you are welcome, and if you are a returning viewer, you are welcome back. If you have not subscribed to the channel, kindly click on the subscribe button and don't forget to turn on the notification bell so that you always be notified by YouTube each time we post a viral video just like this. Like I said, today we are going to be looking at the principle of design. So in this video I'm going to walk you through the meaning of principle of design, and then I'm going to highlight some of the principle of design that you need to know, especially for the people that are beginning and even the people that have advanced but still find it difficult to come up with a nice design because they don't really understand what the principle tells. So in this video I'm going to explain all of that to you so that at the end of the day you can pick up your design tools and bring out something very unique and fine without you looking at another design. Okay, so because already you have mastered the principle. So without wasting much of our time, let's move down into the video. So the first thing we are going to be looking at the meaning of the principle of design. So when we talk about the principle of design, what does it really mean? Okay, first of all I will explain it this way. Okay, the principle talks about the step by step. Okay, in everything, be it organization, be it a firm, in church, everywhere. Okay, the principle talks about step by step. If they say that this is the principle by which men should follow, it means that this is the method by which men should follow, this is the method by which children should follow. Okay, so that is the simplest term to explain the principle of design. So it therefore means that in graphic design they have a method of designing. There is a method of design. There's a way by which design is being done. So every design is just not is not being done anyhow. And remember, graphic design is art and science, and it's more of science because it has to do with communication, and opposite the both parties has to understand themselves without explanation. Okay, so the principle of design guides you to do that very well. So here I have the principle of graphic design are fundamental guidelines that helps designers create visually appealing and effective compositions. What does that mean? Okay, for example, I will take a cook. For example, I know this may sound funny, but this is the closest example I want to take this time so that you guys can understand. So for example, now a cook in cooking. Okay, in cooking, for example, you want to cook fried rice. Remember, in design, after principle, we have the element. We have the element of design and we have the principle of design. What are the difference between these two things? The difference is simply that the element talks about the tools you are using, while the principle talks about the steps you are going to be using the tools to work. So if we have color as an element, the principle will now come in to tell you how you can apply that color for you to get what you want. So if we have shape as an element, then the principle will now come and tell you what kind of shape and how to use the shape in a particular design for it to come out very well. So that is the difference. So now the principle of graphic design are the fundamental guidelines that helps designers create visually appealing and effective composition. Okay, when you are designing, when you are putting on designs, principles helps you put on those design in a way that helps you and another person to understand what you are doing. Okay, so when you fail to understand the principle of design, you always end up designing what is out of the market. Okay, I believe you understand. So the understanding the principle of design is very necessary. It's very important. So if you skipped this part and then try to now try to maybe disturb yourself designing, please, I will advise that you go back to this part of graphic design, because this is where the whole thing lies. Okay, this is where the whole thing lies. Somebody can knows all the elements and cannot know how to apply them. So like I said, they cook. I want to take that for example. For now, okay, let's take that we are cooking jollof rice, and in jollof rice we have all the condiments. Okay, something like tomato. We have something like tomato. We have something like granite oil. We have something like rice. We have something like the maggi. We have something like If you want to put protein, we have protein like beef and so on. Okay, all those things I just mentioned now are the elements. Those are the elements of jollof rice, the elements of graphic design. Now, so what becomes the principle? The principle now is, okay, when you wash your rice, you put it in a pot, or when you wash your rice, you put it in a bowl, you put your pot in, okay, on fire, allow it to dry off the water, pour oil inside, put your tomato, those steps. Maybe the person has written it down, you now carry it and read. Those steps are what we call the principle. Without you knowing this, you may not achieve the desired jollof rice you want to achieve. Okay, so you now see that knowing how to use software doesn't make you a graphic designer, but knowing the principle of graphic design makes you a graphic designer. So if somebody says, I know how to use Pixel Lab very well, I know how to use Photoshop very well, I know how to use Adobe, I know how to use CorelDRAW very well, the person simply is an application user, is not a graphic designer, because the person may not creatively bring out something. It just knows how to, it just knows, the person is just knowing the tools in that thing. It's just like, for example, you said you know jollof rice, and then you know the kitchen very well. That is the software. You know the kitchen, you know the pot, you know the gas cooker, you know how to on gas cooker, you know how to wash pots very well, you know how to make the kitchen look very clean and everything, but you don't know how to, the steps. You may even know the condiment used to produce jollof rice. After knowing the condiment, then you don't know the steps. You know that this is the first thing that needs to be done before this is the first thing, then the second thing that needs to be done before the third one, and then at the end of this, because you don't know the steps, you now end up doing what is out of the market. So I don't know if we really get that. So this is important that everyone should get to know this. The principle of graphic design are fundamental guidelines that help designers create visually appealing and effective composition. So I believe we understand. I don't want to stay more longer than that. Let's move on so we can get the video shorter and shorter and shorter. Okay, so guys, let's get to explain what the principle of designs, some of the principle of designs are, and then I will use this as, okay, as our case study. So now let's check. The first one is balance. Balance talks about achieving visual stability and harmony in a design. So in this case, you can see that this design is balanced, okay, because there is visual stability. Your eyes move well, and then you can understand what is going on in the design. I believe we get to that. So that you can see here that you have this very well setting. We have this setting very well, and we have, okay, so we have a very nice setting here. We have a very nice setting here. Everything is just okay from here like this. Everything is okay. So you can see that the design is balanced in that point. And then the second one talks about the proximity. The proximity. And the proximity is grouping related elements together to create a cohesive layout. Okay, let's go back to the design. You can see that in this design, you can see that in this design, everything was grouped together. This is an element. This is an element. You get, so those elements were grouped together, and this also is an element. This also is an element. All of them were grouped together to form a wonderful looking design. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say there. So now grouping all these elements together to get a wonderful, see, great. We group the drink is here. um when you have drink, it's talking about drinking. In this case, the design is talking about drinking. So we have a cup, a glass cup with filled with drink. So already this design is communicating. This design is communicating, you can see. And we have something very important here. We have something very important here, and this communicates very important thing here. Okay, so and you can see everything is just showing. You can see the write up down here. That may not really be the reasons of the design, but this is really okay. Let me say this like this is really the reason for the design. Okay, I believe we get that. So the next one is alignment. Alignment. Okay, when making the design, make sure you use grid. Make sure you use this ruler. Okay, so ruler now will help you align your design very well. Okay, you can see ruler here will help you align. You can see the design. You can see the design. So if for example now this design was not aligned, okay, let me say maybe the drink comes somewhere here, or maybe the drink comes somewhere here, and then maybe the app is somewhere here, or just looking, just something. You get it? Are you trying to get what I'm trying to say? So you can see everything is maybe like this, and then maybe this one will just be like this without this. You can see it's still a design, but that thing is not aligned. Everything is scattered. Everything is not aligned. It's not looking good. So, but coming together, bring them together. Everything is looking very perfect and good. Okay, so that is what alignment does. Okay, so repetition. You can see the repetition here in terms of color. We repeat color in everywhere. You see the green repeats itself from the background to the design, and then we repeat color from the glass all over around. So you can see the repetition of color here. So all the design here has almost the same color. All the from the glass to the background to the drink and all those, it has almost the same color. So the background here we have the green, we have the green here, we have the green here. So the glass has yellow and it has yellow here. It has this other color and that color is repeated here. There's black and it is repeated also, white also. So there's need for repetition. It make the design look better. Okay, so don't know if you get that, but it make the design look sweet. So the next one is contrast. Contrast is highlighting difference between elements to make them stand out. Highlighting difference between elements to make them stand out. Okay, you can see that this bottle is bigger and is what you are seeing first immediately you open the design. You are seeing the bottle first immediately you open the design, and that communicates the biggest. That is what the design is meant for. So let me say that is the heading. So immediately you open the design, you are seeing the bottle standing here. Okay, immediately you open the design, you are seeing the bottle like this standing. You can see there is glass here, so those two things catch you up like this. Those two things just catch you, and your eyes is looking at them quick. Immediately you just open the design. So that is contrast. Contrast simply highlights differences between elements to make them stand out. So now what is hierarchy? Hierarchy is organizing elements to guide the viewer's attention through importance. Okay, like I was saying, this um this hierarchy, it guides the viewer's attention. Now for example, notice something. There is the drink is arranged like this. So okay, for example, if this was to be like this, maybe we take this to be like this. You see that already your eyes is in danger. You cannot get what you cannot really understand what is going on there. But with the way this was arranged, you know what to look at, and that leads you to what to look at next. Okay, so the things in the front here, you know that those are the ones that are very very important. All these things here in front here, those are the most important thing. Okay, so now if after reading what is in front here, your eyes can now go down to look at what is really down, and with understanding you get to know. So that is why that happy in the back is not really showing. They cover it with drinks, or because that may not really be the most important thing. That's the most important thing is this drink you are seeing, and then this cup. So, and that communicates already that you need to drink. You are hungry for drinking. You get, and it's showing a very nice looking. So, and another thing that was done here, if you can notice too, is the use of shadow now blend your eyes, making them look so real. So now, if for example, let me remove those shadow, let me try to get off those shadow, you will see the difference I'm trying to talk about. So you can see how plain the design is. You can see how plain, and the design is not looking very professional, and it's still also confusing. You can see it's still also confusing, but when those shadows was added, that's why you need to pay attention to all these things. You need to pay attention to your design very well. So when all these things were added, you now see that the design look much better. Design look much better. So that's are the ways hierarchy. And then white space, that will be the last one. White space, you can see white space here. White space here is not space that are white, no, those are empty spaces. Empty space intentionally to is using empty space intentionally to improve reliability and focus. You can see here that there's a lot of white space in this design, and it's simply creating focus because okay, we have white space here, we have white space here, we have it here, we have it here, we have it here, we have it here, we have them here. So you can see that makes the works to be centered. So your eyes is looking at this center. Your eyes is looking at the center like this. Your eyes is not going anywhere again. It's just looking at the center like this. This center. You can see, and the white space also help you to know where to look at. So that is the work of the white space. Okay, so guys, it is important that you really understand what the principle of design is. It's very important that you really understand what the principle of design is. I will do more video on the principle of design, and as long, because that is the basic, that is where design comes from. If you don't know the principle of design, you always run out of the information. You always run out of information. But once you are aware of design principle, you always make you always bring out your design. Your design will always come out very fine. So guys, if you have not subscribed to the channel, kindly click on the subscribe button, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell so that you will not miss out on any of our video dropping. So if you're a new person to this channel, thank you for watching and staying with us. Thank you. Till next time, see you in another video.